Hello friends, in the previous video we learnt about the internal structure of the heart. When you keep your hand on your chest, you can hear a sound of your heart. It makes sound of lub dub. Are you not excited to know how this sound is produced? Yes, if you are excited, then this is Veena and you are watching Veena's Etiquette. I shall tell you how this sound is produced. And this sound is produced by our heart, and our heart starts beating right from the 21st day of the embryonic development. That is, when the embryo is implanted in the uterus, right from the 21st day, the contraction and relaxation of the heart begins, and this continues till the end of the life. Now let us learn how the sound is produced. For this, let us imagine that the heart is in a complete rest stage. So it is in a complete, the rest stage is known as diastole. Resting stage is known as diastole. And the active phase, the active stage is known as systole. So hope you understood the two terms. The resting phase of the heart is known as diastole and the active phase of the heart is known as systole. So when imagine that the heart is in complete rest state and this is the diastolic stage of the heart. Now what happens is, in the first stage, the impure blood from the superior vena cava, that is from the upper parts of the body, it pours into the right atria, and the inferior vena cava, it brings the deoxygenated blood from the lower parts of the body and pours into the right atria. Simultaneously, what happens is, the pulmonary veins from the lungs, they bring the oxygenated blood into the left atria. So you can see here, simultaneously both the atrias are getting filled. The right atria is getting filled with the impure blood, that is deoxygenated blood, and the left atria is getting filled with oxygenated blood, that is the pure blood. Once these two, both the atria get filled, the pressure increases, and then what happens is the aperture opens and you can see the walls between the atria and ventricle opens, and the blood, impure blood from the right atria flows into the right ventricle, and the pure blood from the left atria moves into the left ventricle. Both happens again simultaneously. Both the apertures are open and the impure blood flows into the right ventricle and pure blood flows into the left ventricle. Now, when in the next stage, third stage, you will see that the right ventricle is filled with the impure blood and the left ventricle is filled with the pure blood, oxygenated blood. When it is filled, the pressure the ventricles start contracting. When they contract, the pressure increases, due to which this left ventricle, it forces the blood into the aorta and the right ventricle forces the blood into the pulmonary artery. Then what happens is, this aperture between the auricle and ventricle, they close with a sharp sound, making the lub sound. Then you get the sound as lub. So when these apertures close, then it makes a sound known as lub. Now when the blood is moving into the aorta and the impure blood is moving into the pulmonary artery, then this ventricle starts relaxing. When they start relaxing, the pressure inside the ventricles becomes low, and there are chances of the aorta, that is the pure blood in the aorta, to come back and the impure blood in the pulmonary artery to come back. So what happens then, to prevent the backflow of the blood back into the ventricles, the semilunar valves which are present in the aorta and in the pulmonary artery, they close, the valves close. This makes a dull sound known as dub. So this is how dub sound and lub sound is produced. Lub sound is produced when the ventricles are filled with the pure and impure blood and they are forcing the blood in, they are pumping the blood into the pulmonary artery and aorta. That time the apertures close, making a sharp sound known as lub. And when the ventricles are relaxing, and then the ventricles, they have already pumped the blood into the respective arteries. then there are chances, because the pressure is getting low, there are chances again for the blood to come back. So in order to prevent the backflow of the blood, the walls which are present in the pulmonary artery and the aorta, that is the semilunar walls, they close, giving a dub sound, that is a dull sound. And all this takes place, the whole process, this whole cycle of this contraction and relaxation takes place within 0.8 seconds. And this once it is the cycle is over, the cycle again repeats, again the same cycle repeats, and this repeats in 1 minute. It repeats 72 to 80 times per minute. So this is how the lub dub sound when is produced when you keep your hand here on the heart, and you can also hear through the stethoscope, and even you can see the, when you put your finger here, you can see the force, the contraction and relaxation of the blood. That is your heart. This is known as pulse, and this is the heartbeat. So pulse rate and the heartbeat both are equal. So this completes the cardiac cycle. Hope you all have understood the cardiac cycle, and next we will come out with the further videos. And one more thing I would like to tell, that on the request of students, I have also started videos on mathematics. So kindly watch those videos also, and keep watching, keep learning both biology and mathematics. Thank you, friends.